It's been more than a century since the Titanic sank to the icy depths of the Atlantic, but our fascination with the ill-fated ocean liner has only grown. In London, a new digital exhibition is taking people on a virtual experience aboard the Titanic's maiden voyage in 1912.
The Titanic. What an appropriate name for a ship that has never been forgotten and continues to be a part of popular culture. But by today's standards, the Titanic would be dwarfed by a modern ocean liner. But in literary imagination, the Titanic remains a colossus. The RMS Titanic was the largest ship afloat when it set sail in April 1912. A floating palace stretching over 880 feet in length and standing 175 feet tall from keel to funnel. The Titanic weighed more than 46,000 tons and could carry over 2,200 passengers and crew. It's a tragic story. From being called unsinkable to sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on a fateful night in April 1912, the story of the Titanic has captivated people over the ages. There have been films, books, and exhibitions. And when, in 1985, a joint American-French expedition led by Robert Ballard and Jean-Louis Michel found its wreckage about 350 nautical miles off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada, in international waters at a depth of about 12,500 feet, it sparked interest in the Titanic all over again. Since then, almost 200 people have dived to see the wreck of the Titanic. Unmanned submersibles have explored every inch of its wreckage and lots of artifacts have been recovered. The shipyards in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where the ship was built, continue to get thousands of visitors every year. Now, a century later, a groundbreaking exhibition that combines immersive technology, historical recreations, and emotional storytelling is bringing the world's most famous ship back to life. Instead of poring over pictures or looking at salvaged artifacts, this exhibition takes visitors into an alternate virtual reality aboard the Titanic on her maiden voyage. Located in London, the experience starts with a massive 360-degree projection showing the ship as it arrives in Southampton in 1912.
So the big challenge was to translate the narrative and the story that we try to deliver to the audiences in each one of the technical aspects of this exhibition. So, for example, in this mapping room, we worked with over 10 months with more than 55 animators to create that world and to have it fit in the shape of this room on this scale with 28 projectors and a 360 degrees world around you with also floor projections to really, be on board and be immersed on every element of what the ship had to offer.
The immersion doesn't end there. After virtually seeing the ship's arrival spectacle, visitors step inside the metaverse where they explore ornate first-class lounges, dining halls, grand hallways, and the decks of the Titanic recreated in VR in astonishing detail.
I think once they leave the legend of the Titanic, they will truly have had the feeling that they were on board of the ship. So instead of just being a spectator or an observer, you are part of it. And I think that is the new thing, the new innovative thing that we are offering at this moment.
But this isn't just about getting a glimpse of grandeur. As the tour continues, visitors reach the moment that changed history, the collision with the iceberg. A sequence built with immersive visuals and sound design to place visitors at the heart of the tragedy. Not recommended for the faint-hearted. For history buffs, there's a room filled with objects connected to the Titanic story. Much of this collection comes not from the ship itself, but includes identical pieces from the ship's sister vessel, the Olympic. much of it comes from the collection of Titanic specialist Juan Cruz Arcoreka.
The reason because the people is still obsessed with Titanic, I think, is because it's one of the best great tragedies in our modern time. It's the biggest object created by man at that time. The Maiden Voyage is a perfect capsule of the society, the best of the society in both sides of the ocean. Immigrants that are traveling to get a better life and live a quarter of the passengers in tiny lifeboats in the middle of the ocean 4 days after. So it's a perfect tragedy in a way. I mean, it's a glimpse of the past. Most of the pieces belong to Titanic's sister ship, the Olympic. So we need to understand that the company, if they buy 100 things, 50 were for one ship and 50 for the other. 50 of Titanic are in the bottom of the ocean. The other 50 is the one I hunt.
A cinematic, digital, immersive experience about a modern legend that will never be forgotten. This exhibition is not just about reliving history, though it's about experiencing. It's a chance to walk the decks, hear the music, and feel the weight of a story that still resonates over 100 years later.